we want to tell our stories up to this point. And then we're really open to some Q&A. We would really like to ask some specific questions. Don't feel embarrassed or anything. If it's a very technical question, it can be anything. We really want to help. And if you don't want to do it in public, the question, please come up to us after the talk. It's no problem. You can even send us something online, Instagram, Twitter, anything else. Okay, so Maxime, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Maxime, and on the folder they called me the no meat athlete. Athlete is a little bit, I think, overrated, but I just wanted to share that I have a really active life. So I do a lot of sports, a combination of strength and endurance training, like 3 or 4 times a week. Well, I'm not that patser, but it's okay. Because I also combine that with running. So in September I have this half a marathon. I get up early every day to do yoga and meditate. Early is like 5 o'clock. And I work. So I'm just a basic normal worker. And I combine all that. And the vegan lifestyle is just, well, I just want to say that the vegan lifestyle is really louder. Should I say? Okay, sorry. So, just wanted to say that it's perfectly combined with the vegan lifestyle to be active. And in sports, it is very, well, I think for me, it is better to recover and to stay. Yeah, I think it's better for the results.
We can both attest to the benefits we had. We'll talk a bit about that. So, yeah, like she's a working lady who is very active outside of her job, and for her, it was still doable, and I think it might be inspiring for others who think, I really want to get into sports, but it'll be hard as an athlete. Myself, I'm 24 years old. I'm a swimmer and a student. And I also found it interesting after chatting a bit with Maxime that we both came to veganism after doing our independent research. So even if you're on a totally different diet, we both were already into healthy eating and everything, but we never came across veganism until a certain point, and then it's like a roller coaster. You start finding information everywhere, and after a while you're really like overwhelmed. Why did nobody tell me this? And if you feel certain enough with the amount of things you've learned and seen, you just start. And at first you're a bit scared, but after like 2 weeks you just see it's no big deal. What was your experience?
Well, I didn't expect that question, because I think I'm just wanted to say that I'm here, and I don't want to be like the person who is going to tell you that you have to be vegan or you should or anything else. I think for me it's better that people ask me questions, because I don't know if they're interested in what I do or how my life is. But I'm also like scientifically, I have a scientific background, so I have the little bit of knowledge about what certain sources of food does to your body. That's why the step for me to go vegan was easily made. Also, for me, it's better for my health, but also the environment. That was my big priority. I also like to cook a lot, so for me it was very very easy. So I have a lot of experience, but I don't know in what amount of experiencing you have, or yeah, my English is could be better, but I do my best.
I had some advantages too starting out. I'm already able to eat a lot of food. Even before I went vegan, I was eating really big volumes of food. I already ate a lot of vegetables and fruit every day. So it wasn't that hard for me to be like, oh, I have to eat all of this food. No, it wasn't like that. Other advantages I had going into it, I don't have any allergies. My mom has a nutrition background. My dad is really passionate about the environment. We have a horizontal windmill now. We have solar panels. My dad drives an electrical car. We do car sharing with our family. But so how did I come up to this point? I was just swimming in my free time, but at the age of 15, I decided I want to see how good I can get at swimming. At that point, I was like the third or fourth best, depending on which events in the country, in my age group. But yeah, like over the Easter holiday, I trained really well. I kept on being consistent with it, and then at nationals I swam pretty well. I smashed my personal records, but as I'm saying, I was 15 years old and now I'm 24. So in between, there was this time where I really dedicated myself to swimming. I went to the top sports school in Antwerp. I did my 5th year and 6th year in a secondary school there. Yeah, basically you could train every day. You didn't have as many classes. Your food was already made. It was really convenient. And I progressed a lot the first year just by the sheer amount of extra training I had. The second year I improved a bit more. And then I became a student and a swimmer. And I had the experience of 2 European Junior Championships. After that, it became a European Short Course Seniors. Then I went to World Championships, to Short Course Championships. Everything went fine. I started breaking national records in 2014, then the year after in 2015. And everything was going smooth because, as you know, every 4 years we have the Olympic Games, the Olympic Summer Games. And I was one of the swimmers who were on track to qualify. But then some things went a bit wrong with my trainer in the last year leading up to it. I took a bit too big of a load in university in 2015. So every time we had the event where it was like, yeah, now we can qualify for the Olympics, it went a bit wrong, and it kept going like that, and ultimately I missed the Olympic Games by 20 hundredths of a second in 400-meter freestyle. It's an event that is around 3 minutes and 50 seconds, which is my national record. So you can imagine only 20 hundredths of a second is really close. Obviously that was devastating because I had been training for that since I was 15 years old. It had been my childhood dream. I was really in my bubble. And that summer I decided I had to change environments, maybe take a step back from swimming if I wanted to keep having fun with it. If you swim at a really high level or you do any sport, you can really take on the academic load, so you spread your studies, you do like half a program. So my study wasn't really advancing as fast. So the last 2 years I have been taking a bit more credits, a bit more courses. And obviously after missing those Olympic Games, I started looking for things to heal myself mentally, to get an edge, to to improve upon myself, because obviously something went wrong, and it could be internal, it could be external factors, but I can't control the outside. So I started looking for things, and I came in touch with more and more information, which led me to vegan content creators on YouTube. And the more I learned, I was like, I really want to do this, but I'm not sure if my performance will decrease, because obviously I was training less, I was still studying, but I still wanted to become national champion like I did before. I really love the competition, improving yourself every day. I think we all do. We all love improving ourselves every day, even if it's not in one certain area, if it's not that specific, like a 200-meter backstroke, which is really linear, you know exactly what's going to happen. So I had the knowledge by December. I did a World Championships short course, and then in January, like in the middle of January, I watched Gary Yourofsky's speech. Maybe some of you are familiar with it. And then I went vegan overnight. I was like, I have the information, I can't justify my behavior anymore, and I'm going to do it. And yeah, that was January 2017. Now we're more than a year further. And I learned a lot about how you can speak more effectively to others, because obviously in the beginning it's a bit frustrating. You have all this information and you can't understand why nobody else is acting upon it, and you want to tell everybody. But I've learned a lot in the last 16 months. I've joined Anonymous for the Voiceless, which is a nice way to get in contact with other people who are passionate about the same subject as you. You can learn from each other, and it's really fulfilling. I also connected with a lot of people in the sphere who, in their turn, already taught me a lot. And now I really want to help others by showing that it's possible. In May, I competed in the 400 freestyle, 800 freestyle, and a 200-meter backstroke. I won all 3 events. Obviously, as a vegan, you can still beat everyone else in the country as long as you have the dedication and you put in the work. And the main thing I learned in the months before I went vegan was, as long as you eat enough calories, you don't have to worry about anything. Obviously, there's things like B12 and vitamin D, but it's supplemented in everything. It's also supplemented in cow's milk, so not really anything specific. B12, the animals get B12 in their feed. So it was just a matter of, how will I get enough calories? And yeah, if you have a high meal frequency, if you get big meals, if you don't only eat fruits and vegetables, it's totally possible. So I'm curious to hear your questions. And I'll give the word back to Maxime. Maybe she can tell us a bit more how she has been experiencing the health benefits. For myself, it cleared out my skin. My digestion got better. I don't have issues in my joints for more than a day if I'm really overtraining a bit. I had a really big sleep issue after missing those Olympics. I think I cured that. In the morning, you don't feel as groggy anymore. It's a really powerful thing. And I thought I was already eating healthy and I was already eating conscious. But for sure, even with a minimalistic approach where you don't count everything, where you don't plan out meals or anything, it's so good for you. And even if you think, I'm already feeling well now, that's what I thought. There's always the unknown, what could be better. If you're feeling a certain way for a while, and it's suboptimal, you start to believe this is normal, this is good, but there's something else that's out there, and why not try it? And I've been enjoying it so far, especially because I was also passionate about the environment like my dad. Now I'm totally aligned. Um, being aligned with your values, it's a powerful thing, and I wish more people could feel this, and that's why I'm becoming more and more active in the community and thinking more about strategies how we can reach more people. So, Maxime?
Yeah, I think about the happy vegan lifestyle. I think this lady over there is going to talk about that later. Yeah. So I think I'll just be here. I'll be here during all night. So if you want to come and talk to me, I prefer that than this, but it's okay. So if there are any questions, ask me.
It's okay.
I was wondering, as a recreational athlete, I consider myself as a recreational athlete too, so I like working out and doing lots of activities and things like that. Do you plan your diet? Do you plan what you eat throughout the week? Or do you just work out all out and then you just kind of eat what you feel like eating? Eating, of course, but do you, do you plan your meals?
Yeah, I do. But vegan, I don't really like to call the word vegan. I eat whole foods. You can also eat vegan, but eat processed foods. Yeah. But I like to eat the plant-based whole foods diet. So you have to plan, yeah. But now it's a part of me, so I don't have to spend a lot of time on that. But I think about what I will eat before I work out, after, yeah.
Yeah, obviously I want to clarify when I say you just need to get in enough calories. Potato chips, the potatoes are nice, but the oil doesn't help your performance. Yeah, soda might be tasty once every 2 weeks, but it won't help your performance unless you're really low on energy and you're going to faint. Also like cookies and everything. So getting enough calories of the non-junk food. But yeah, obviously you have to do some planning because you go to the grocery store and you can tell your non-vegan parents, do all the shopping for me, or your non-vegan friends. So planning, as far as planning goes, for me is just when you go to the store, you think about, we should have enough food in the house. So if anything happens, we don't want to go eat out because that gets more expensive. You make sure you have enough food in the house. And one of the tricks I found is buying in bulk. So making sure you have like wraps and nuts in the house. You can buy online, it's way cheaper. Making sure you have enough oats in the house, some frozen fruit. Yeah, most of you might know the drill. Other questions? Yeah?
Was your question answered? A little bit.
Yeah.
Was your question answered?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah.
What is your experience? Can you be vegan and still consume locally produced foods, or do you need like foods which are imported from the other end of the world? Like, can you survive from Belgian foods?
So he was asking for people who didn't hear it clearly, what about the foods that come from far away? Obviously, in your vegan journey, you start to discover there are other aspects like flying airplanes, using plastics, more packaging, bio produce, and now he asks about local products. So me, myself, I don't eat a lot of soy products. And a friend told me recently, like Alpro, they use Belgian soy. So I think if the majority of your calories come from potatoes, oats, those are mostly local. vegetables are mostly local. But I think in the last 6 months I've been looking more, this fruit, is it from Costa Rica, is it from Spain, or is it from Belgium? I don't buy bananas all the time, but I really think even with allergies, with intolerances, with a really busy lifestyle, if you know what foods balance out your day, you can really do it. I think so, local. If you want to invest some time into learning about the foods, I would encourage people to try it out. It would really help because obviously transportation is also a driver of climate change. Other questions? Yes, please.
Yeah, I have a question with regards to how you deal with other athletes, for example.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who are artists will say they just like the taste of it, but athletes are so convinced that they're eating healthily. And I just say this because I've had a triathlete Airbnb stay at my place, and he was so convinced lean meat and it was all healthy, and that what I was talking about was nonsense.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know, do you communicate with some of them to say that, you know, your swimming has stayed the same or has improved? I don't know if you mentioned. So I just wanted to know if you communicate with non-plant-based athletes.
Yeah, you have a few routes to take. First of all, I found it more empowering for myself the more I learned. We have this thing in our society called false equivalence. So if the guy around the block says lean meats are nice, and then this world-renowned doctor who has done a lot of peer-reviewed research, who reads up, who speaks at conferences, says something else, they might say, they say something else. It might be something in between. But so first I empowered myself by learning more of the better sources that have peer-reviewed research and everything. And then I just screen the situation. I see, I try to guess how open they are to the information, and if so, I just try to be fire some concrete facts that help out. Like if you say, but chickpeas is 25% calories from protein. If you say, did you know rice has protein? Did you know if you only ate potatoes the whole day, you'd still get enough of all the vitamins and minerals? So if you can fire small facts and then talk about your own experience, I think that's powerful. Some conversations have led to, and what about the free-range eggs? And then I explain what a vegan position on that is. But certainly, a lot of my top athlete friends, they have changed their perception. They see I'm happy, they see I'm healthy, they see I can still perform, even with less training than prior to 2016. And yeah, now they understand. If they have a question about it, they come ask. But yeah, for sure, there's a big stigma. There's all these lies that are spread. But we have to know what we're up against. It's been this propaganda for decades. It's so many people saying one thing, and then the false equivalence that plays in. There's a few major doctors that say the truth, and yeah, they try to hide it. And we have to be really smart about how we uncover the truth. And there's so many ways just by cooking. My sister, she's not vegan, she's vegetarian, but she cooks a lot of very delicious vegan meals. And she lived with 5 friends of hers, and they all have come a lot closer, and they see, you can eat healthy and delicious food. So I think cooking is a big part. You can get involved with activism groups, but the main thing is being a very informed happy, healthy version of yourself that will inspire a lot of people around you. Thanks for the question. More questions? No? Thank you for your attention. You want to say something?
Oh, I'm not a big of a speaker, so no, I'm okay. So
Yeah,
if you want to ask me, you can come and talk to me if you want. So
Thanks for your attention. It was a nice
Thanks.
experience for me.